The redemption process, how private bankers settle public debt. 1. Understanding the hidden bond system. Every legal proceeding, every traffic ticket, even every mortgage hides a bond behind it. These aren't the kind of bonds one gives to a loved one, they're financial instruments, insurance bonds, reinsurance bonds, and appearance bonds that quietly back every court case and contract. The idea here is simple: when someone appears in court, a bond is created, traded, and insured. To win, one must redeem that bond, settle the value rather than argue the charge. So what does that actually mean? It means the game isn't about guilt or innocence. It's about balance sheets. Footnote: the redemption theory interprets court bonds as negotiable financial instruments that must be settled rather than litigated. 2. The mortmain account concept. The so-called mortmain account refers to the estate account, linked, it's claimed, to the social security number without dashes. The logic goes like this: one version of the number with dashes is active in commerce, the other, dash-free, is fixed, immovable, dead-handed. That account, they say, sits offshore in Puerto Rico, a jurisdiction operating under maritime rather than constitutional law. The humor writes itself: your living account runs wild, your dead-handed twin just sits there holding the gold. Footnote: the mortmain theory imagines an estate account tied to one's social security number functioning as collateral under maritime jurisdiction. 3. Settling bonds instead of paying bills. Here's where it turns clever. A statement from a utility or court isn't viewed as a true bill, it's an offer. To settle it, one accepts for value and draws credits from the mortmain account by giving the account's identification numbers. In this worldview, the issuer already holds the credit, the redeemer merely authorizes release. Refuse or ignore the offer and, supposedly, you dishonor the bond, inviting collection or court action. Settle it, and you remain in honor. Footnote: the process of acceptance for value treats debts as offers to contract, settled through presumed credits held in an estate account. 4. The role of the individual banker. In this framework, the living person can act directly in public commerce, so an individual banker is created, an interface between private and public worlds. This banker possesses an employer identification number and acts as fiduciary over the trust, estate, and associated accounts. Think of it as appointing a financial avatar who can shake hands with the IRS without getting you dragged into jurisdiction. So what does that actually mean? It means paperwork becomes puppetry. Footnote: the individual banker functions as a fiduciary persona bridging private status and public financial administration. 5. Jurisdiction and private property. Once property is registered with the state, bonds attached to it, property taxes, titles, insurance. To reclaim it to the private, one must clear those bonds and avoid registration altogether. The argument follows that if an asset isn't registered, the state lacks jurisdiction to tax or seize it. It's a bold idea, and occasionally a good way to meet your local tax assessor in person. Footnote: removing assets from registration is proposed as a means to eliminate public jurisdiction and associated taxation. 6. The IRS as the ultimate arbiter. The theory views the Internal Revenue Service not as an adversary but as the ultimate clearinghouse. All roads lead to the IRS submission centers: Austin, Ogden, Cincinnati, Fresno, Kansas City, where forms such as 1099-A, Form 56, and W-8-BAN are supposedly processed to settle national debt obligations. In practice, this makes the IRS the high priest of redemption, both feared and essential. Humor aside, the concept rests on recognizing that taxes, insurance, and bonds are simply different flavors of the same thing: debt instruments. Footnote: IRS submission centers are described as settlement venues for converting public debts into private credit adjustments. 7. Authority and standing. According to this model, True authority doesn't come from licenses or state permission, it comes from awareness. The people stand above corporate officers, including secretaries of state, because sovereignty resides with the living. The individual banker acts as attorney in fact, not attorney at law. The difference is more than semantics, it's a declaration that jurisdiction flows from consent. So what does that actually mean? It means you're only bound by the game if you agree to play. Footnote. The distinction between attorney in fact and attorney at law symbolizes private sovereignty and limited consent to jurisdiction. 8. Redeeming the national debt. If every bond is a debt and every debt is backed by the people, then redeeming one's own bonds contributes to canceling the national debt. Each settlement, it's said, offsets a portion owed to the collective. The humor here writes itself, personal paperwork as patriotism. Still, the moral undertone is clear, the public debt is really a mirror of private ignorance. Footnote. Redemption theory frames private bond settlements as micro-actions that collectively reduce national indebtedness. 9. Application and caution. Proponents claim the method applies to everything: utility bills, mortgages, vehicle purchases, even criminal cases. Critics might call that ambitious. The practical step is always the same: identify the bond, accept for value, and authorize settlement through the private banker. But even within this system, two rules stand: stay in honor and don't argue. If you believe the world runs on paperwork, never forget, it also runs on consequences. Footnote. Operational use of bond settlement techniques emphasizes non-adversarial acceptance and procedural compliance within the theory's logic. 10. The underlying philosophy. Beneath the forms and numbers lies a philosophical statement: the living person possesses inherent credit, and institutions merely hold it in trust. The challenge is reclaiming control without defiance, settlement, not revolution. So what does that actually mean? It means you win by signing, not shouting. The humor, of course, is that bureaucracy becomes both the prison and the key. Footnote. The philosophy of redemption views lawful settlement as a peaceful assertion of private sovereignty over institutional debt.